So I came out this morning, actually got the car started. Sounded a little rough. Can't see it now, but I had a whole bunch of oil coming out of the back of the turbo, spitting all over the back. I don't have a downpipe or anything on it. Tried to clean it up, but it's got me a little worried. Trying to think what cylinder is spitting out oil. When I bought the motor, they said it had been sitting for a little while. I figured maybe it needed a heat cycle or two to start resealing itself with the rings or something. So probably the next thing I'm going to do is pull the coils off at some point and do another compression test. But I don't feel like messing with that right now. So right now I'm going to go ahead and pull off the bumper and get started on fitting the intercooler. So actually this is a Treadstone intercooler I got. It's 3.5-inch core. I think total length is something like 32 inches and it's 12.5 inches tall. So this cardboard I have right here is actually a mock size up of it. Let me pull it out. So that's it. Had to cut out that center to fit past that bracket for the lower bumper piece. So I always want to check, see how it fits. Kind of a little rough estimate, which actually sits in there. So the trouble I had, the highest I could get the intercooler to go is the bottom of this AC thing right here. It's the highest I can go. So you have to measure from, I had to measure from there as far down as I could. So the intercooler sits there. Intercooler piping is going to come off the side. I'm going to cut a hole somewhere in here. So I'm going to get a 90, come out through there, comes out on that side, and then a 90 off the turbo, and it won't be that bad. Kind of a straight shot, just a 90 and a straight shot on that side. And kind of same thing on this side. Intercooler piping comes out here, 90. Battery's going to be relocated, not going to be there. Then a 90 off the throttle body, and then connect right down here. So that's the theory, and we know how that goes. So let me continue getting this bumper off. And also, so when I measured, sucks, I did a lot of research looking at people's intercooler setups on Cressidas. Most of them don't have AC, so they don't have to worry about this. So you actually have a good amount of room between the radiator and the course and the bumper core support. I mean, like even from the AC condenser here, you're getting 5.5 inches you can fit an intercooler. But for me, I had to go from the outside of there to the bumper. So you can see 3.5 I'm gonna have to cut into the bumper core support, but not a big deal. Good news and bad news. Good news, bumper off, check. But this thing has been bumped before. I don't know if it'll come up on camera. Let's see. Hard to tell, but you can see the right side of this bumper over here. It's kind of out. You can see this line here, and then it slowly starts to disappear because the left side of this bumper is pushed in a little bit right here. So I'm going to continue. I'll still cut this up, get the intercooler to fit, because even if I bought a new bumper and bumper support, it's going to fit the same way. I just have to cut the new one out. But this will be good practice. I'll cut this one up. I don't have to worry about it too much. So yeah, that looks up here. Let me get some boxes, get the intercooler to sit up where I want it, see how that looks, and come up with a game plan. Actually, issue number one, this bracket for the lower lip sticking out. Oh, that made it easy. So that center bracket part actually just unbolts, so save myself the cutting there. So everything's pretty much out of the way, so I'm going to put the intercooler back on the stand I got, try to get it right where I want it, and look at mounting options. So this is pretty much final location. Get the height, like I said, this for the AC, I don't even fucking know what it is. But some room right under it, get a little bit of angle on it. I could get it closed if I wanted, but I'm going to leave some room, you know. Nothing's ever solidly mounted. I get that there. What else can we see? So you can see it's above the rails. I'm not gonna have a problem there. So just gonna do a 90 out to here and kind of just shoot for this right here. Which is good. I just have to move this wiring down here. And kind of the same thing for the other one. Kind of just go for the hole right there. I'm not used to this intercooler type of mounting. It has the mounting right here on the side, which actually I could go to the could use this front bolt right there. Just make an L bracket right there, and that'll solve that. I'm used to the intercoolers having the they have like bungs on the top and bottom, like 1, 2, 3, and then most people just bolt them in right here in the middle. They make a bracket that goes all the way across, then an L up to there. But I think I might just go for that. That'll make it pretty easy. So sweet. So now that's gonna fit there, I'm gonna bring the bumper out, start to slide the bumper in, see where it's hitting, mark, start cutting. That wasn't bad. I didn't get to finish the cutting wheel. Started to get a little small there, so I need to run to the store buy another one. Well, you can see where I made the cut. I pretty much cut the whole front piece of it. It's probably the hardest to get through. Up and just across as low as I could go. Trying to get this corner, but that cutting wheel got really small. This was the last section I did. And then back across and down. Let me go get that new cutting wheel, come back and finish that off. New blade, check, back to cutting, resume. Finally got it off. Would have been easier, but in the middle it has these extra support brackets that were hard to cut. But got it out. Let's see. Not the straightest, but just gonna go in and see how it fits and then start trimming it up from there. That was actually pretty easy, and actually would have been a lot easier if I had a straight bumper. Because on the right side, the straight side, no issues whatsoever. And as you keep coming left, 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 it gets tighter and tighter. It's actually hitting on one of the bolts that holds right there. But besides that, I mean, it would have been straight shot. But that's pretty much how it's going to sit. It's going to sit, I don't know, just a smudge higher right under that. That's probably a good height right there. So actually, it's off the ground, it's off the box that I was hanging it on, and it's actually being held up by this lower lip right here. So let's see how that looks a little bit further back. Up top, a little bit lower. So that center little tab right there, I'm gonna cut that off because it's pointless now. But the thing that sucks about these Crested is they have no airflow in the front. So the big debate is, do I cut out the rest of the bumper so you can see the whole intercooler? I think I kind of want to, but it's still up for debate. So cool. I'm just waiting for the intercooler piping to come in. That'll be in a little while, a few days. I can finish that up. I need to get some aluminum so I can make the so I can hang the intercooler. But besides that, that's all I can get done today for that. So, well, I'm gonna trim this a little bit more so there's a little bit more space. But besides that, that's all I can do with the intercooler. But sweet. Here's a better, quick little mock-up. Bumper's just sitting, everything's just sitting in, nothing's bolted down. That gap under the grill will fill in once I have it bolted in. Not bad, but it sucks. You see all that room? It's just blocked. Like, do I cut the bumper or do I not? Do I just put a whole bunch of holes across it? I I don't know. I need some ideas. Debating what I want to do. So, like I said, done with the intercooler for now. Or actually, I need to cut a little bit more on the bumper right here on this side. Get that done. But I guess next thing I can do is start cleaning up some wiring. Sweet. I feel like I'm losing steam. I just went ahead and quickly got rid of that center mounting point really quick. Done. I've been slacking big time lately. Sorry the videos have been taking so long. Just sometimes need a little break. So I actually got a universal 3-inch intercooler piping kit off eBay. It was like 110 bucks. Couplers, some straights, 90s and 45s, and T-bolt clamps. So what I already did, so the intercooler's sitting pretty much where it's gonna be. I already laid in the 90-degree ends off of it. So you can see them better there. So on the hot side, just need to cut a hole, and it's almost gonna come out straight through right to where the turbo is. I gotta mount the turbo so I can get a better placement of that. Gotta move the battery so I can do the cold side. Actually, I had to angle this one up a little bit because of the AC line right here. So that'll come out, and just it's a quick turn to go to the throttle body right there. It's not anything crazy. So it should be pretty simple. When I went to a fabricator shop, they wanted 500 bucks to do intercooler piping. Yeah, I thought it was a bit much, especially since I'm doing such short intercooler piping. It's not like I have the intercooler coming out of the bottom and you gotta route it all the way around and up. So yeah, let me sit the turbo on there, or you know what, no, first thing I'm gonna do is we're gonna cut holes before it gets dark. That way I can at least keep moving and I'm not making a whole bunch of noise late at night. So I'm just gonna cut a big hole, and that way I don't have to worry about it coming close to the pipe, and move forward from there. Sweet. Well, the little cutter I was using kept breaking off wheel, so I decided to try, and I fucking cut the AC line. Everything I was trying to stay away from, I just fucking cut it. Now I'm frustrated. It's gonna take forever to find a new one. So, whatever, keep fucking going now. Whatever. At least I can unbolt this now and just upset now. Whatever, I gotta keep moving. I'll unbolt it, keep going, it'll make it a little bit easier to cut. Actually, no, I'm gonna leave it in place because I need it for reference when I put the intercooler piping in. Okay, I'm no expert, but so intercooler sitting pretty much where it's gonna be, 90-degree off the hot side. Then it's actually just a straight pipe, and then all I need is a 90 off the turbo, and that's perfect. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than that. 500 bucks my ass. Now let's see how the cold side does, but that was a joke. Well, besides cutting the damn AC line, I'll try to forget that happened, and I'll just focus on the positive. Alright. Actually, I think I'm gonna run to a store, try to buy new cutting wheels, because these are not working. These are just no. Alright. Take a moment, take a breather. Try not to think about that thing pissing me off. Trying to forget about the AC line I cut. I'm gonna try to redeem myself on this side and go with this, because I kind of don't feel like driving to the store. So, marked off pretty much where I need it. So we'll do a rough cut and go from there. Remove the battery. I just got to move the wiring on the back side of it. And just try not to cut the AC line again. Not too shabby. All right, working on the cold side now. 90 degree coming off. I need to make another cut. You can see where it's still hitting, but I'm using so let's see. It's easier to see it from up top. You can see all I need is a 90 degree coupling off the throttle body. That'll hook right up. So think about it. All I'm using is 2 pipes and it's hooking right up. And these guys want to charge me $500, and I'm doing it, I don't know, for 150 after I buy 2 more 90 degree couplers. So I'll just have to actually cut this one. Hot side fits as it is. Cold side I'll have to cut it and buy a 90 degree coupling for the throttle body to go onto it. That's it. I mean, simple. I had to open up these wires. They go behind the headlight. I'm gonna have to rewrap them and keep them out of the way. But besides that, I mean, it's pretty easy. So I had those couplers of my list of things to do and keep moving. So pretty easy. Alright, did a little bit more cutting and actually ended up flipping the pipe where the longer end is off the intercooler and the shorter end is towards the throttle body. As you can see, all I need is a 90 degree off the throttle body and I'll hook right up into that pipe. I'll have to cut the pipe a little bit, but dude, easy. $110 universal intercooler piping kit, and all I have to do is buy 2 90s. So intercooler piping done. I'm gonna order the couplers, put everything in place, then mark where I want to put my IAT and also the blowout valve. I got to mark that off so when I drop the car off for the exhaust, you can also weld the blowout valve. So sweet. Sweet. All right. So I got the couplers in. 90 degree off the turbo. 1 straight section from the kit that I bought. Didn't have to cut or anything. Fits right in. The thing is, the intercooler is sitting low. It's not where it needs to be. Can't get it any higher because it's hitting right along here. So I'm gonna have to cut this. I was trying to keep it because that's another tab for the headlight, but I have to cut it so I can get this pipe to sit higher up. So let me get out the cutter and start cutting that out. Perfect. Came in, cut out the little top piece, gave some more room. This isn't where it's going to sit, but it made enough room all the way around it. So hot side is done, easy. So on the cold side, I'm gonna have to do some cutting on the pipe that comes up on it. Let me mock it up real quick. All right, quick mock up. I can get it to fit. So I got the 90 coming up to a 45 to a 90 on the throttle body, but it's actually pushing out the intercooler. You can see on the driver's side over here on this side, it's pushing it out this way. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna cut this one, this shorter, so I can move intercooler further in that way. Trying to think what I'm gonna cut it with. So I guess I'll just use the angle grinder I have and do that. So I guess no, just do a couple inches at a time and see how it fits. And actually this tube, or actually the pipe, that pipe fits fine. So yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and cut down here and refit it. So I came in, I measured 2 inches from the edge in, marked it. You can kind of see where I got a Sharpie mark on it. Did it all the way around, put some tape on it. So now I'm gonna use the angle grinder, cut off 2 inches, refit it. Hopefully it fits better. I'm sure I'll have to do it again, but measure twice, cut once, and go from there. So quick change of plans. I went ahead, I cut that 45-degree angle one that I had. I was trying to fit it, it just wasn't fitting right. So I actually switched it up for a 90-degree one. It fits a lot better on there. And I haven't even had to cut it. So it fits pretty well as is. I'm just gonna have to cut a little bit more underneath this headlight right down there. Just touching a little bit right here. I thought it was gonna be further this way, that's why I cut so much on this side. But with that AC line, it has to point up and it changed the angle of it a little bit. So I'll come in and I'll cut that. But now that that's sitting in there, I can go ahead and start I need a mark where I'm going to put the IAT as well as the blowout valve. Pretty sure I'm just going to put the blowout valve sitting somewhere just like right here. And I'll do the IAT underneath, complete opposite side of this, underneath, under here, so you can't see it. And it'll be easy to route and keep the wires out of sight. So, cool. Let me go ahead and mark that stuff off. Yeah, I also had to make sure the intercooler was same distance out on both sides. Make sure it was straight. What the fuck? He's not even in his car.
Filming.
What is it, John?
YouTube, comment, like this video if you like it. Watch some more if you don't like it. Terrible. Doing absolutely horrible.